All right, we'll call this meeting back to order. We were in the middle of discussion of resolution number 1912.
So we have two options here that I see. One is we can tweak the language of the third paragraph to say, prior to interviews of board commissions, comma, education application sessions at convenient times should be scheduled by the Board of Commissioners or Committee of the Whole. Change the next paragraph to say such sessions should be informal, 15 to 20 minutes in length. And then strike the whole third to last paragraph. The other option is you just post it, because we're already going to be announcing the events anyway. I mean, we're already putting public notices out there anyway that we want people to apply. And we want people to come. So if a group of commissioners feels that they need to make a recommendation or want to make a recommendation, they should have the power to do that.
So, can I speak? Up to that time then, you're going just basically on what what applicants came to, that sent in something, right?
Say that again?
You're going by them, somebody out there that wants to be appointed to a board.
Yeah.
Will come to that meeting. So the names are already there, right? Okay, so you're saying that the public would be invited to come and see this interview process?
No,
Or
the posting
the
would,
education or
the
something?
posting would be the Board of Commissioners is conducting education application sessions for prospective boards and commissions. They will be held at this session. If you are interested in being interviewed, please contact the administration office. So that's option B. Option A is to change the resolution and just make it so, like Dave recommended or suggested that.
Just take it out of there, you're saying?
So the third paragraph would read what?
Third paragraph would read, prior to interviews for boards and commissions, comma, education/application sessions at convenient times shall be scheduled by the Board of Commissioners or Committee of the Whole.
Did you get that, Pam? Can, one
We
more-
have a copy available.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can give it to Heather.
Okay. So it would be, now therefore be it resolved, prior to interviews for boards and commissions, an education/application sessions shall be held at convenient times scheduled by the Board of Commissioners or Committee of the Whole. Be it further resolved that such sessions should be informal and 15 to 20 minutes in length, conducted by 2 or 3 commissioners, and then strike the fifth paragraph, and the rest of the words stay the same.
So we're just legally saying that the sessions before the Committee of the Whole and the Board of Commissioners are education and application sessions. Now, if somebody attends this, and I like them for a position, I don't think they should have to come to a COW and a BOC meeting.
When should they come to the BOC meeting?
At
Because there's that,
a COW and a BOC meeting. But,
because this says nothing about,
you're right, because we're not affecting the COW and the BOC process. All we're doing is creating a process beforehand to get applications in the door.
Just to get this down in my head, the way we usually done it is they come in for an interview on the cow, and then we refer them to the Board
For
of
the
Commissioners,
board
right?
for approval.
And then their final vote is on the Board of Commissioners. But they only have to show up for one of them, don't they? They don't have to show up at the board, do they?
Typically. I mean, a lot of people come just so that they
Yes,
get.
they do,
They
but
get
they don't
to
have to, I don't
be
think.
approved and see the process and hear the, get their 15 minutes of fame or 15 seconds, however long it takes to read.
So what do you see this resolution doing? I mean, if
Well,
a resolution to spend 15 minutes with somebody?
No, it would be to create the educational piece on, and what board do you think you're interested in, and help us educate the people who question, well, why on earth would I ever get on a board?
I didn't see that in there.
Well, that's not in there, but it talks about the current strategy of recruiting and interviewing, and then it talks about education application sessions. And so it would be educating whoever would be interested on why I would get involved in a board. I mean, we've all talked to everybody who
All right, I'm
said,
sorry.
I have no idea what you do, so I'm out. And I would really like to have something formal to help encourage.
So you gotta have these classes days and evenings. so
Yeah, if we
everybody-
had a few, if we did it quarterly, it doesn't have to be done every day, it doesn't have to be done every week, but if we did them, periodically, I don't think it hurt any of us to help our constituents for countywide get interested in something that we are. I mean, did you ever serve on a board before you became a commissioner?
Lot boards.
Because your generation was encouraged to be involved in the community and involved in what you were doing. There's a generation out there that has no clue about volunteering for anything public. They are all about, let's do something on Facebook, I'll contribute via GoFundMe page, but show up at an event and blow up balloons, I don't know if I can do that. Or can I go to a committee meeting? I don't know if I can do that.
So I would move to adopt the amended resolution as
I don't have it anymore, Pam's got it.
identified with the chair.
I don't think you can do that. You
Yeah, you
can
can.
put the motion on the floor?
Support.
I'd like to see
So-
it.
And you can sub them out.
So the motion is to amend the resolution. Ben made the motion, Dave supported it. So the resolution as amended reads, whereas the Berry County needs qualified, dedicated individuals to serve on numerous boards and commissions, and whereas the current strategy of recruiting and interviewing applicants does not produce the number of applicants desired and creates numerous challenges for the Board of Commissioners, and now therefore be it resolved, prior to interviews for boards and commissions, education application sessions shall be held at convenient times scheduled by the Board of Commissioners or Committee of the Whole. Be it further resolved that such sessions should be informal and 15 to 20 minutes in length, conducted by 2 or 3 commissioners, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect upon its adoption and shall expire on March 10th, 2020. And be it further resolved that funds from the BOC advertising budget may be used for materials and advertising related to the implementing this strategy. Discussion. Hearing none. On the amendment.
Good try.
Sorry, Vivian. I looked this way first and that way, and then I drove and I didn't look back.
I got a question.
Bang! I'm not sure if it's like an
I
accident.
got a question.
Vivian first, please.
So anyways, I still like the education piece, but I just,
I don't think there's
There's-
anything about this that you're gonna like, honestly. I think it's a philosophical issue.
no.
We've-
And it's
we've
not gonna
re-
hurt my feelings if you vote no on it.
We've removed the
But would you,
references to, what's the word I'm looking for?
References?
References or referring.
Referring.
Or forwarding. We've taken that out and we've just created a tool for us to use to educate.
right, but, so there's education piece is a 15, 20-minute session. And the applicants, when do they come before the board and the cow, or do they come after?
This would be an education session.
Okay.
To help people discover which board or committee they would most likely participate in or prefer to participate in. There may be people out there who don't have a clue about planning and zoning and don't ever want to. And they may be better fit for COA or the animal control or ag preservation. Whereas there's a person out there whose analytical mind is perfect for planning and zoning or ZBA.
Or
Or
Parks
then,
and
where
Rec or
does it,
anything.
where does it go from there then? Is it are we gonna, the whole board gonna see any applicants that wanna be there?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it's doing,
Yep.
okay.
But this will help identify, this will help.
No,
So
I agree,
Sharon
I
comes
agree.
in and she's got this wealth of information with, education and,
Sure.
and outreach and we need somebody like that on animal control or COA. And just because there's an opening on the zoning board of appeals doesn't mean she's the best candidate for that. But if we help her with say, maybe you should apply for these two boards because we think that's where your expertise is better used, then maybe we'll see her application at the interviews for those two boards or one of those boards, whichever one she chooses.
But these don't necessarily have to be posted though.
I wouldn't think you would have to. We're gonna want them advertised.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you're gonna
That's right.
wanna draw people.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but it's not a decision-making meeting.
It's not a decision-making meeting to be posted.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
The applicant is making the decisions, not the commissioners sitting there
Yep.
with them.
So they would not I'm sorry, Dan.
Go ahead.
They
What
would
were
not
these,
necessarily,
We'll get it.
so they would not necessarily, I mean, if they submitted an application for a board, they wouldn't have to even attend the education
No.
if they didn't want to. Okay.
Who,
What were these training classes that Sarah Alden was running? It's not,
That's after they're on a board.
that's after they're on a board.
okay. It's nothing to do with what we're doing then.
No, but we could probably use some of the
Incorporate,
information
yeah.
that Sarah presented in those so that people have a little bit of a,
So if this resolution is adopted in the next interviews that, round of interviews are, do you plan to invite, incumbents to attend these education sessions?
well, if you advertise it, you run the risk of having an incumbent come.
They certainly should be invited, but it isn't a necessity.
So if you advertise it on Facebook, we talked about using social media, you advertise it in the paper, you're gonna get somebody who says, well, I've been on a board a long time, maybe there's something else for me, I wanna go see what this is all about. And I don't think we should ever exclude incumbents from visiting an educational session.
But they will, the incumbent has made out their application to go into the next term, then they're not gonna be available to be voted on anyways, because they won't have an application in, right?
You never know, they might apply for a different board.
They apply for reappointment.
They might.
Oh, yeah, but this is prior to that,
This
isn't?
is just an education system. It's really not tied to our interview process anymore. After we took that clause out, it would not be tied to that process.
No, what I'm asking is this, and I'm not making myself clear, I guess. For instance, I was gonna reapply, and I didn't get it in time for, say, an appointment, okay? But I come to that meeting, because I see it's inviting me to come for education and stuff. At that meeting, all those other people probably are applying, right?
It's
Not
possible.
if the deadline's passed. And if the
Okay.
deadline's not passed, that means they can reapply.
They can apply, okay, all right, yeah.
But the way our Granicus software works, you can apply for any position at any time, whether it's posted or not. If you go online and you fill
Right.
out the software,
Yeah.
it'll hold you in
For the
there,
next one, yeah.
circling, kinda.
For how long?
I'm not sure. But your application is in there and you mark which ones you're interested in.
Okay,
But you don't know what the retention is on that.
No.
good job.
On the amendment, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carries. Now, as the resolution, let's see. Where's my words? Okay. I'm getting there, guys. So, the question before the board is to approve, or for the adoption of Resolution 19-12 as amended to reform the citizen appointment process. Is there any further discussion?
This is on the one that was included before correction.
This is the amended, we're voting on the amended appointment process. So we approved the amendment, we approved the changes. Now, we're going
Alright,
to
I see what you're
approve,
doing.
now we're going to approve the
Okay,
resolution.
all right. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I think we should table it. The reason is because my proposal was designed to improve this process on the Board of Commissioners, in addition to getting qualified applicants, and the changes the committee has requested significantly change the scope of it, so I move to table the question until the next Board of Commissioners.
Do you mean you choose to postpone it until the next Board of
Yes.
Commissioners?
Mm-hmm.
So, the motion has been made to postpone the, decision on the adoption of Resolution 19-12. Is there a second?
What's gonna change?
Second by Smoker.
Because if
Discussion.
this is designed, my proposal was designed to make it less intimidating for people to come up to this room, and now we're saying, yeah,
Both of them.
you got to come to both of them. So I don't know. This changes things, and I want to.
I don't understand where it says you have to come to both of them. You don't have to come to the first one.
To the education session.
We struck out the provision that made it so they didn't have to attend a committee of the whole.
So, the motion has been made and supported to postpone the decision on this to the next Board of Commissioner meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Hey,
Aye. I mean to say, I would like to postpone it.
So how many,
It's 4-3.
who, I need to know the names of who named.
I got nays on this side and yays on this side.
Yay.
oh boy. It's a good time.
I was a yay.
That was fun.
We should, shouldn't we? But we gotta give our reports, I think.
We're not gonna postpone it.
We are postponing it until July 16th.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. July 16th? Okay. No,
That's a busy day.
That's the next Board of Commissioner meeting.
That's gonna be a busy day.
I agree with you.
It's not the right date,
It's not the right date, it's the 9th.
yes.
I'm not looking at my calendar, sorry. The 16th is a BOC. Cow, sorry. I lost a week, thank God. So it'd be postpone it till July 9th. Alrighty. Unfinished business. We have none. New business, we have none. County Administrator's Report.
Thank you.
Chairperson's report. It was a beautiful, lovely, sun-filled weekend, only to be disappointed by rain on Monday. And rain on Friday, and rain overnight, and we'll get there. The good news is, the Ponderosa building, former Ponderosa building, is completely renovated, sans the playground. They will be moving playground equipment from the old facility to the new facility over the next couple of months, in preparation for the school year. They should be receiving the keys today to the building. They will have an open house in August. It's tentatively scheduled for August 15th in the evening. It's very exciting to get this project done. We did go a little over budget, and they're working on some contingency funds to help cover that expense. They opted to finance for 20 years instead of 15 to help with some of the monthly cash flow. Other than that, we're very excited about the opportunities. They recently educated or graduated, I believe, 3 from the Berry County GED program. I think that there's another 7 enrolled. And they've had double digit, 11 or 12 graduates from the Battle Creek GED program with more summer enrollments. They just have a few tests that they want to get. They didn't want to wait till fall. They wanted to keep the ball rolling and keep them on the success track. So other than that, we will be starting our meeting cycle next week for July. It's coming to that time of year where I become a temporary resident of Rutland Township.
Whose district?
It's yours. I'm in the fairgrounds.
Oh,
Or is that Irving Township? In there
trying to
someplace.
pass out all on Dave.
So hopefully that transition will be smooth and that there'll be no incidents. Other than that, it is summertime. Farmers are still behind. There is hope that some of the acres will be salvaged for something. Some of the longer day seeds aren't eligible to plant. They just don't have time to germinate. So you have to remember that agriculture in Berry County contributes $1.2 billion to our economy. And we have just as many employees or more as Viking. When you look at the individual farms and the employees that we hire in the ag business that's associated with that. So we are a major contributor to the economy of Berry County, and we are all suffering a great deal because this isn't just, I didn't get this field planted. This is a trickle down to the seed salesman, to the ag dealers, to the processors, to your dining room tables, to your gas tanks. So with that being said, please be patient with agricultural equipment as it tries to get its work done. Commissioner Cotter.
Thank you. Last week I attended the Prairieville and the Yankee Springs Township meetings. Yesterday David alerted me to a problem that might occur at our Board of Public Works meeting this morning. And yes, someone posted a notice looking much like our official notice for the meeting on Facebook and at some different locations in the Upper Crooked Lake area. And so people thought we were going to deal with flooding here, so we had a few people here. But it got handled, and most of the people, 99% of the people that were here were all right with how we handled that discussion today.
Good. Commissioner Jackson.
Short report. I feel like I had a month off. I missed Berry Township. John did Rutland Township. The Economic Development Alliance meeting and Brownfield meetings were canceled. No JPA this month, no animal shelter this month. So I'm going to the health board meeting on Thursday. And other than that, I want to give kudos to Brad Lamberg and the Road Commission. As many of you know, M43 is closed at Cloverdale Road in the south part of the county. And there's a little bypass that goes right to the Moose Lodge, which is kind of the community center of Hope Township. And then they closed that road. So my phone was ringing off the hook with people who were, mad about the fact that M43 was still closed after 6 weeks. But now the bypass, Hoop knows that road, was also closed. So after some discussions with Brad Lamberg, he got on the horn because MSP had requested it being closed for safety issues. MDOT was involved in it, our sheriff was involved in it, and the road commission. And as it trickled down, they closed that road. But after a few phone calls and Brad actually getting to the truth and working with the sheriff, they had it open by noon that morning. So the world was a better place in southern Berry County. So kudos for him for following up and actually making that happen. And there is heavy equipment working on M43 right now, installing a drain. There was an agreement between the DEQ, MDOT, and the Drain Commissioner's Office to actually work on that and get a pumping solution in place. So hopefully that road will be open no later than mid-July at this point. So hopefully sooner, but it may take that long.
Commissioner Geiger.
I'm good.
Commissioner Smoker.
At our 911 meeting, we are working on the budget, the 2020 budget, and we also okayed a couple of part-time positions which will help us with our overtime. because of vacations, sick leave, stuff like that. We were getting in, and people leaving their position in new hires and stuff. So, and we have hired one part-time, the person that we hired for part-time left as a full-time dispatcher and went in his own business, tree removal. But he agreed to stay and come back part-time to help us out.
Sorry, John.
That's twice in one meeting. Ooh.
And also 911 is going to have a booth at the fair for information, and especially for smart 911 and stuff like that. Hopefully people will stop in and see what the dispatch center is doing. And I'm going to let Hoot take over on transit, but as far as I could see, there's on that just a couple of snafus that aren't costing us anything. It's going to cost the construction company a little. And airport is tomorrow afternoon.
Commissioner Gibson.
At the Hastings Township meeting, we talked about the M37 drain area on Fall Creek. The water's high. 2 people applied for the library board. They were appointed. At my mental health board meeting, we approved the municipal risk management contract. We had a presentation from Brianna Ellison, corporate compliance provider network manager. We received information from Liz Lentz. We talked about agency strategic goals update. Lighthouse on the Lake averaged 7 people a day in the month of May. They also attended a Whitecaps ball game. The transit meeting, we had a presentation from Steve Hartman from Hope Network. They assist 30 clients monthly with round trips. Hope Network does the rides that the public transportation can't do. They have 7 vans with 4 of them in operation. They would like a 2-week notice for transportation, but they will do emergency calls. The construction and renovation on the transit building is going well, still on schedule for October completion by Copper Rock Construction. At the city council meeting last night, the mayor had a presentation for Jeff Mansfield's retirement. There was a first reading on public hearing to solicit comments regarding application for a CDBG grant for held or rental rehabilitation projects. He has had other rehabilitation projects in the downtown area, converting apartments above the stores. And they also approved the appointment of Jerry Sinerky to serve as city manager from July the 1st, 2019 to January the 10th, 2021. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Parker.
Yes, we had our Parks and Rec meeting last Thursday night. Things are going well. We talked about the grant program a little bit, and the birding we're gonna be developing a birding trail. We're getting estimates on signs right now and that too. The other thing that was interesting, Metcalf Lake would be the southwest side of Berry County, very southwest side.
It's in my district.
Okay. There's 160 acres there, and I guess it's a beautiful piece of property. A couple lakes on it, in fact. One's a 50-acre lake, I guess. And we had a guy with Brian Huggett from the Calhoun Conservation District. Battle Creek owns this property, but they are looking for partners to help develop it more so. I haven't been on the property. Have you been on the property at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've driven past it.
But there's a bad taste in the mouth from some of the residents in Battle Creek in the fact, and around the neighborhood there, around the lot, that they came in and the previous director of this Calhoun Conservation District gave the okay to cut some trees down and sell them. And she's in prison now, I guess, from the standpoint of embezzlement and that. And so they're asking for help with different things and to partner with. And we're seriously looking at that as a possibility, that it could be a very nice park, nature park. So that's one, that took a lot of the time and questions and that. Other than that, we've got our budget, I think, ready to go, and we're looking forward to this rest of the year. I believe it's in July, I'll post you later, No Family Left Indoors. We'll have something at McEwen Bridge Park too at that night, that they're having that. That's about it. Thank you very much. I did get a hold of a guy that was interested, very interested in maybe getting some broadband into Berry County. I've invited him, and I guess he's planning on being here July 2nd to give us a little explanation of what they're looking at and trying to do. And if there are other ones that come up like that, because we want to encourage them to do that, we will probably ask them to make a presentation too, to give us an idea of what's going on with broadband. I think it's important that we keep that broadband right out in front of us, so that we keep thinking about how to get that thing going, and so this will be maybe one of the steps in doing that.
Thank you very much. I would like to echo Commissioner Jackson's comments about the road commission. Last week we had an extreme weather event where we dumped a ton of water in a very short period of time, and there were roads closed across the county, primarily gravel roads. Their staff worked endlessly to get barricades up until the water receded in those areas, and I'm quite sure some of those roadways are still adversely affected. I know Charlton Park Road in the north quadrant is slated to get a new bridge or something here in the next year, but it's very damaged. So there are washouts. I've been watching the severe weather across the country, and there are more and more and more locations that just completely destroyed by floodwaters. So very blessed that we have a road commission who is out there in the mud taking care of us so that we don't get in trouble. So kudos to the road commission for responding quickly and safely. Limited public comment. At this time, any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes if you're still awake.
Sharon Zabrowski, COA Board. In looking at the plans for the health department, if moving the COA over there, please look at more than just the square footage. Tammy brought up the issues with traffic, with the Meals on Wheels truck, the transit coming, delivery trucks, older drivers, younger drivers who will be coming over to the health department. There'll be people with wheelchairs and scooters. They're down low. They're hard to see, especially if you're in a truck and backing up. Then there's those of us who move a little slower. The impatient drivers do not like waiting for us. So there could be quite a few issues there. When I looked at the plan, I see that the staff would be put down in the basement area. However, staff meets individually with seniors about many different issues, from taxes to nutrition to help with your Medicare, Medicaid, and supplementary insurance. These things need to be done in private, not out where everybody can hear what you're saying. There is no elevator in that building. Adult daycare, they really need to have their own entrance. Most of them are very confused. So when they have to walk down a hallway through strange people, and from day to day, people are strange to them because they don't remember. This again, we have to look at traffic issues. Older people have special needs, so you can't just look at space. If you don't provide for the special needs of older seniors, and even some of the younger seniors, you will have wasted your money because they won't come. So please keep this in mind. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Is there any other business to come before this board? There being no further business and without objection, the board will now adjourn.